They called him the doctor, not in a hospital, but on the racetrack. The doctor of MotoGP, from a small-town boy to a worldwide icon. And then, a bittersweet farewell that stunned millions. But what led to the rise and fall of Valentino Rossi? Born in 1979 in Urbino, Italy, Valentino Rossi had his early life filled with the sound of engines. His dad, Graziano Rossi, was a retired motorcycle racer himself. As a passionate racer himself, his father introduced him to the world of racing at a very young age. So yeah, speed was basically in his DNA. At just the age of 17, Rossi made his Grand Prix debut in the 125cc class with the Aprilia team. And by the time he was 18, he'd already won the 125 cubic centimeter World Championship. This was his first world title. That win didn't just mark a victory, it marked the beginning of a racing era. Fast forward to 1999, Rossi entered the 250cc class again with the Aprilia team, where it did not take him long to dominate. By the end of the season, he was crowned the 250cc world champion. But Rossi was not done yet. His hopes were high when he entered the 500cc Premier class along with the Honda team, where his rookie season was impressive but finished second overall. However, this setback gave Rossi every reason to come back stronger in 2001, where he finally won the 500cc World Championship. Nevertheless, at just the age of 22, Rossi had done only what a few in the sport's history had ever done, winning the World Championships in all three classes: 125cc, 250cc, and 500cc. So, back in 2002, MotoGP introduced 990cc four-stroke engines. A big change. But here's the twist. While others were adapting to it, Rossi did not just adapt to them, he dominated. Racing the new RC211V with the Repsol Honda team, Rossi headed to win the championship in 2002 and 2003. At that point, Rossi wasn't just winning races, he was a global icon. Number 46? That wasn't just a number anymore, it was a symbol. Then 2004 comes around and everyone's thinking, well, of course he's staying with Honda, why would he leave such a dominant team? Out of nowhere, Rossi made a shocking move. He left the Honda team and signed with Yamaha. Yeah, a team that hadn't won a championship in years. But here's where things get really interesting. Why do you think Rossi would leave such a dominant team to join a team that hadn't won a championship in years? What was Rossi's motive to join the Yamaha team? Turns out it was personal. Rossi wanted to prove something, that it wasn't just the machine that was winning the race. It was him. At Honda, everyone believed that it was the bike doing all the work. He felt underappreciated. While he was at the Honda team, he was treated like just another part of the machine. But at Yamaha, it was a whole different story. They gave him freedom, they believed in him, they let him bring his crew, his vision, and his trust. You won't believe what happened after he joined Yamaha. What do you think would have happened after he traded a near-perfect machine for one that hadn't tasted victory in years? You'd think he was setting himself up for failure. Wrong. In his very first race with the Yamaha team, he took an emotional win in South Africa. He wasn't just racing, he was proving a point. At the end of the 2004 MotoGP season, Rossi defied all the odds and won the MotoGP World Championship on a bike that many considered to be weaker than Honda's. And in 2005, he continued his winning streak and secured his 7th world title, 5th in the Premier class. He made winning look very easy. Then came 2006, and many new names started to dominate the MotoGP. You had guys like Danny Pedrosa, Nicky Hayden, and a young, talented Casey Stoner, grinding every weekend. That year, Rossi lost the championship to Casey Stoner at Valencia, even though he won more races than him that year. In 2007, things got tougher. Casey Stoner completely took over the season. That's when Rossi struggled with his bike and his Yamaha team. For the first time in years, the legend looked like a human. But just when people started questioning whether Rossi's era was over, he came back. In 2008, Yamaha came back stronger, the team was better, the bike was faster, and everything just came together well. He won the MotoGP in 2008 with iconic overtakes and battles, and followed it up in 2009 with yet another world title, his 9th and the final championship. So far, Rossi's story is one of wins and rebellion. But what happens when even the doctor runs out of miracles? In 2010, Rossi's dream run began to fall apart. He suffered a major accident at Mugello, fracturing his leg and missing many races for the first time in his career, for which his teammate Jorge Lorenzo came up and won the title. And by the end of the season, Rossi wasn't world champion anymore. So what does he do? Rossi decided to switch his teams again, but this time not for a challenge like before. This was different. He chose to join Ducati, an Italian legend on an Italian bike. The fans were excited, and so was Rossi. But the results were not as good as expected. The Ducati just wasn't working for him. 2 years passed, with 0 wins and multiple crashes. This made him realize that the Ducati team was not for him. And that's when, in 2013, Rossi joined the Yamaha team again. He was back home. The results were not immediate, but he was rebuilding it, bit by bit. In 2014, Rossi was past 35, where most people would retire, but Rossi wasn't done yet. Then came 2015, one of the most dramatic seasons ever. What happened that year? Pure drama, starting till the end. That year, Rossi faced a new tough rival, Marc Marquez. The infamous Sepang clash took place this year. Rossi accused Marquez was getting in the way of the title fight. Rossi was penalized, and for the final race in Valencia, Rossi was forced to start from the back of the grid. Rossi tried his best to win the race, but lost to Lorenzo by just 5 points. That could have been his 10th World Championship title. After all those things, everything for Rossi slowly began to fade away. Wins became rare for Rossi, and podiums stopped coming. Nevertheless, the younger generation was taking over the MotoGP championship. Even after all these things, Rossi's influence was untouched. He launched the VR46 Academy, a place where young riders learn from the master himself. And in 2021, after 26 incredible seasons, the day finally came when Rossi announced his retirement. The fans cried. Engines went silent. This wasn't just a retirement, it was the farewell of an icon. Even his biggest rivals came forward to show him respect. It wasn't just the end of a career, it was the end of a legendary chapter in MotoGP history. This was the story about the legend Valentino Rossi, whose legacy still remains even off the bike. The guy who made MotoGP feel alive. Even when he wasn't winning, you still wanted to watch him, because it was him. The energy, the connection with the fans, everything was different in his era. What do you think? Was Rossi the GOAT, or at least your favorite? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed the ride, give us a like and subscribe to our channel for more content on stories about legends.